Hello there, welcome back to this show, my show, the show of me. I could spend this whole 20 minutes, the entire episode, standing in this container. Or is it a train card? I think it's a container. This woman speaking on loudspeaker is speaking loud enough to distract me. I could spend an entire episode here, because I've got things to say about things that happened. I was feeling kinda down today, not really in a mood, you know? With all the heat and stuff, you can always count on me doing things on time. And one of the things I'm gonna talk about is gonna be the things I'm definitely doing on time. As you can tell by the title, surely. But first we've got a commentary note to go through. And the realization that through Schadenfreude, I got myself to sort of get this going. Right then, first off, vortigaunts. I want to talk about vortigaunts because I want to, and you can't stop me. Of course aliens, and they look like this apparently, but that's not how they looked like, always. Obviously, in the first game, Half-Life 1, they looked worse because of the graphics, but Valve and its Steam platform and its flagship title, Half-Life, is their own property. It's like house names or something, their own brand, their own assets, so there's nothing stopping them. What they've got an advantage of, what they can do that others may not, is that there's nothing stopping them from distributing new assets to the older games, because it's still their engine, their IP, and their distribution platform. And one of the things that underwent improvement was vortigaunts. Vortigaunts that I don't have screens of. Maybe I'll find one and put it in. Vortigaunts looked different. Of course, lower res perhaps, with the textures and stuff. And how they look like now is not a matter of the Half-Life 2 mod, Half-Life 2 update. It's the matter of the newer assets from the newer games, because they could. They meant improvements and they implemented them in the previous games. So it's fine, right? They look more sleek now, more smooth, more wet, unfortunately. Other thing I wanted to mention about vortigaunts is their heads. They've got their mouths here. Don't mind the third hand, all of them have that. Don't discriminate. Their mouths, they've got their mouths here. But also they've got 4 eyes. One massive eye and 4 smaller ones. They sort of kind of look like a spider, only spiders are bisymmetrical. And their heads sort of is too, but, you know. Like, I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you're not that kind of idiot. Yes, their balls, they are... Oh, come on now. Their eyeballs. See how big they are? Where the fuck does their brain fit in? Maybe because of their aliens, their brain is somewhere around their hump there, over at the what would that be? Back, shoulders, upper chest area, you'd say. Maybe that's where their brain is actually, and the whole thing that you associate with a face and a head, where brain would be, is just sort of it's not a proboscis, that's a mouth apparatus. It's like an extension, like a limb that ends with sensory and feeding openings, and the brain is put a little bit further away, kind of like a distraction tactics with, for instance, butterflies, where they've got pattern on their wings, where when they open their wings, it looks like a massive big face, and it scares away predators. Maybe it's like a distraction where you think that's the head, you hit it, and there isn't brain there. So maybe he's blind, maybe he can't eat for now, but he still can live, essentially, hopefully, technically. So that's vortigaunts. Now, this
species to make the jump from Half-Life 1 into the world of Half-Life 2. Unlike barnacles and headcrabs, however, they are now allies of the player, who had freed their race with the defeat of the Nihilants. They now lend their mastery of electrical energy to the forces of the rebellion. They fight for their freedom in hopes of not returning to their history of servitude.
Yeah, well, as usual, the voice of the mind of Freeman, giving us a valuable insight. Yeah, that's true. Nihilants. Weird. Weird word. Maybe I'll get over it. Like, get over talking about it. You know what I mean. Once I get to play Black Mesa. Yeah. So yeah, most of the episode done. Progress not made. I'm happy about that. I hope you are too. Yes. Oh, also, very important, they were watching TV, or at least the vortigaunt was, and later you'll learn more about certain relationship. But vortigaunt saw G-Man on the screen, as did I, as did you, as did we, and he didn't really react much to that, which is kind of strange, especially once you learn about the things later on. Yeah. And that's loading screen. I like playing with this fire because it's a fire, right? It deals damage, and the funny thing about it is that it always deals damage to anything. Like for instance to a crate. Fuck. Eat my ass. Yeah, like that. See? It broke apart because it was being dealt damage to. I can just toss it in there. Yeah. It doesn't catch fire because there isn't fire mechanics in the game, but there is damage dealing, and damage dealing to objects make them break. At least some of them. Yeah. Also there's this. Very interesting. The railway. The secret railway where you sort of smuggle people, essentially, has been blocked off. And I don't know why, since they were having refugees continuously running away and getting out of the city, and they boarded it like that. And it's silly, since... Alright, the menu. Since we're gonna get across a person that sits here, is helpful, and tells us she's doing her job, essentially. Yeah, that's the barnacle, in case you didn't know. Weird creature. Interesting. It just stuck to a surface over there, and like you could could have seen, if you've noticed, it catches things with its sticky tongue, wraps them, sort of gets them back in, and eats them whole. It can eat a person whole, but it's not big enough to fit a person in. Weird as shit. Yeah. Oh, that dialogue went fast. We just didn't witness an execution. Talking about executions. Right. Talking about executions. Over this gameplay. Hold on. This. Yeah, see? He's here, trying to help others escape the tyrannical government. I'm being shot at very hard with a machine gun. Stationary at that. That will be a heavier machine gun, I think. I'm gonna need to take a dive here. Jeez, I already got hit quite well. Probably something to do with me talking about things. Probably. Not sure. Right, but execution. So the person that's dead... Jeffrey Epstein, is it? Epstein. One way or another. His last name was Epstein. Yeah, of course he's a Jew. Of course he's a German Jew. Of course he migrated to America.
We heard 12 go down and out. Surgical strike units are targeting railway stations. Repeat, civil protection is coming down on underground stations. We're already getting refugees from 9 and outlying. Looks like we're...
Station 8, do you copy? Station 8, are you there? We have confirmed reports of manhacks. Repeat, they're filling the underground with manhacks.
Yeah, you think you should have said that earlier, so that they know and are somewhat prepared, even just moments before that. Yeah, Epstein. So, he's an old rich Jew, because of course he is, and since he's old and rich, he's got power, right? And that power allowed him to diddle kids. And the diddling of kids have happened, quite possibly, quite surely, mostly, almost completely, not even allegedly. Oh, I can't see shit. Yeah, also, there's a big trick with this. Well, spoke too soon, fuck me. There isn't a trick with this. I thought I'll be able to zoom in with the stationary machine gun to have a better aiming time. Shit. And that's soon enough for me to start running away, because I'm ill-equipped to deal with this problem. Even though I've got a machine gun that should be able to, you know, provide some sort of like a covering fire, but also a bit different. Like point defense system. That's what it should be providing. Let's get rid of that ourselves, so that we don't have to deal with it later when rockets shoot us. And deal with double explosions. Yes, double explosions. That's what you want to deal with. And yes, Epstein. With his power, he diddled kids, apparently. And he got to jail. There's a thing here. Oh, there it is. We're not doing 100% to collect all the supplies from hidden caches marked with the logo, lambda logo of the resistance, but they're still useful, so I might gather some in case you've ever missed any, and for some reason found my video to look for 100% playthrough. You're gonna be disappointed. Yeah, Epstein. So he got himself in trouble, right? Friend of Trump, friend of some Prince of England or otherwise UK guy, important royalty, friend of those, diddled kids. Apparently nobody knew, but also someone knew enough that the newest revelations as of now is that he was given a present presents in the form of little girls to play with. That kind of play. Yeah, where did they get the girls, and how come, like, how was it that he was given them to play? Didn't he, isn't it like a service? Like a loan, sort of? Aren't they on loan? Oh, there's the lady, look.
Over here!
Hello!
Keep going, friend. That station was raided, but there's others up ahead.
Yeah, see, the station is...
Here in case any others come through. Gotta keep the railway alive.
Exactly, that's the point. The railway is alive. They're still smuggling people. She's sitting there in case people are coming to help them. And the way was boarded off. And it was upholding a tank of sorts. Or was it a train cart? A train cart with a cistern or a tank. Being held up. If it had fallen down, the railway is blocked. If it was held up with boarding up like that, it's impossible. Impassable, not impossible. Very important distinction here. Yeah, and someone decided that's a good design. They are wrong. Yeah, Epstein. Now that we are here after all that riveting gameplay, we can spend some time in the storm drain, something like that. A pipe, essentially. Or listen to those. And they even have a police lingo, right, with all the codes. Ah, shit. Fuck my ass. They've noticed. I don't know why. Oh look, more TVs. Jeez. Like for serious. More TVs. Yeah. How was he given kids to play with? I don't know. Someone pulled it off. I'm not getting that lucky. Anyway. Yeah, that's the newest revelation. Apparently he at his parties he was given kids to play with. Sexually, in case you're missing that. And he got to jail, and he was in jail for quite some time now. A bit. Only a bit, but relevant. And apparently he killed himself. But there was an investigation. His family, of course, oblivious to everything, and also saying that it couldn't have been a suicide. It must have been murder. What is it? Not body section. What's the term? I'm going to describe it. The evaluation of corpse for the purpose of finding out the cause of death proves that it was in fact suicide and not murder. I think you're specifically not given any better weapon to not be able to deal enough damage with to the barrels to explode them all the way up there. But then again, it might be also so that the barrels have sort of immortality on them, like a gun note on a barrel, so that you cannot actually destroy them, because that would ruin the cinematic sequence here. Yeah. And what am I on about? Epstein, yeah. So his family, of course, says it couldn't have been done. And it's always like this. There's everyone who had someone kill themselves always says that they wouldn't have killed themselves, that they were happy, that they had things to live for. Everyone who lives, I don't know which, who is a part of a church, that they find out their priest is molesting kids, they say they didn't know, they wouldn't have known, that problem is not happening to them, their priest is better than the other ones, right? But they never know they're the part of the problem, because nobody knows. And also, everyone is always surprised that their quiet, calm neighbor who never comes up with any quarrels, never drinks, never comes home late, never makes any noise and causes any complaint, turns out to be a murderer who kills their spouse and then runs away. It's always like that. So yeah, when it happens, what should I say? When your child dies, it is most likely that they killed themselves. But if it's not, but they killed themselves only if it's not overt that it wasn't murder. Because no, your kid probably has. It's very popular now, having depression and anxiety. They probably did kill themselves. They probably were depressed, and they probably were capable of doing it, unless it was a unless it was a daughter. Because daughters are women, and women are incapable of committing suicide well, as proven by studies, which show that women often go for suicide and do it ineptly to gain attention. Men do it correct, men do it right. They kill themselves to die, not to make others care more. Fucking whores. Yeah, now that we've got misogyny out of the way. Yeah, again, this. Oh, more of them. Oh, perfect. That's what I wanted. This is a completely stupid scene. The barrels are all the way over here down at the bridge, but they explode hard enough to outright fucking kill them. You can avoid dying, because of the explosive barrel, from quite a bit of distance. Or like, not much of the distance. But they don't. They couldn't. And they're police. Should be armored, I guess. Maybe not from explosions. But shrapnels. There are flak jackets. Yeah, there are flak jackets and also bulletproof vests. And they're different. Yeah, one protects you from shrapnel, the other protects you from handgun bullets. Oh snap. We're still doing it. Body shots. Why am I hitting him so low? Why is he bleeding at the chest when the crosshair is at his head? Beats me. Remember when I said the pistol is fucking accurate? There goes my credibility. Now like a quarter of my audience is gonna leave. And yeah, Epstein killed himself. He killed himself. And the family cannot do anything to stop it. Or like prove that he didn't. Because he did. Because he was capable. Why would he kill himself? Well, why wouldn't he? He got into jail where people... Well, jail is a penitentiary. I think I'm using that word right. You go to jail because it's a punishment. And you shouldn't have an easy time in jail. But then again, you also shouldn't be additionally raped and be experience additional crime in jail. There's still crime in... Ah, shit. Fuck, that's not what I wanted. Not really. Yeah. You know, prison should be hard because it's a punishment. But you shouldn't be suspected to more crime in there, like rape or otherwise. Murder, extortion, assault, things like that. Right? So... But unfortunately that still exists, it still happens there, and it is a consideration. And I think Epstein knew that people in jail, in prison, that is to say, the criminals, often shun or put extra hate or targeted harassment, whichever term you want to use, to denote that they don't like people who abused children, cause the criminals that end up in prisons are most often victims of child abuse, so they sympathize with victims like that. One thing they do, sympathize with, right? Fucking murderers and rapists. But they had a difficult childhood, so we should forgive them. Fuck, they're still throwing explosive barrels at me. Fuck. Yeah, a thing. Yeah, so he might have been worried that he will be murdered, will be, to say the least, bullied, and will be might be a potential target for rape and murder or violence because of what he's done, or at least would be the rumor that he has done, allegedly, right? That's enough to get people riled up, obviously, and that's enough for him to think it would be a better way out to do it himself before anyone else tries to and does it not on his terms. So that's why he would have killed himself. Right? Perfect. Love that you agree with me. Yeah, so I think he did commit suicide. In case you were wondering what would that be about. Yeah, friend of Donald Trump, like I said, friend of Mr. Prince of Wales or some shit. Friend of all the important and rich and powerful people. And now they have to denounce him real quick, or else, they'll look bad. And kitty diddling parties that we never get invited to. This physics-based puzzle, where you stack bricks to weigh a seesaw, I think it's called. Stack concrete blocks to weigh it over, so you can run off a ramp and jump over, because you can't do it like this, right? However, if you're really stubborn, I'm gonna do it, because why not? That will waste time. You can stack the bricks and just jump up. Instead of fuck the physics, you can just do it the old-fashioned way. Stacking bricks. Massive game of Jenga here, or Jenga, whichever. I don't know, it's a foreign word. Don't know what the intention of the author, so I can't choose the right option. Ah, there it is. See? Perfection. That's what I'm talking about. Physics-based? Fuck you. Stuck chests. Yeah. So that's the death of the month. That's not true. There's been so many deaths in this month that I've covered that it's not a death of the month. My favorite death of the month is Bianca. Yeah. But since Epstein is dead, the counter news that my favorite news outlets provided was ProJared. He's alive. No, he's not dead. He's actually alive, as the title says. ProJared is alive, apparently, coming out more like, technically at least, coming out with his side of the story, cause he was busy taking care of business. That is to say, covering his ass, to say the least, right? He says he had meetings with his lawyers and shit, so he technically, went over what he was able to talk about in the video he literally just released an hour or two ago. I've never been so fresh and so hot on the news, so now all I need to do is edit and release this episode quite timely, and we'll be fucking golden. I'll be relevant again, right? Yeah. So he was talking about his side of the story, which is that apparently the whole drama is not just about the divorce and how his ex-wife, or still wife, but they're in separation, whichever, right? Of that bitch. Let's use the term of that bitch. Tried to shit all over his career with leaking all the bad things that would make him look bad, with all the alleged nudes of minors and dick pics to others, and he apparently that happened before his, like, what I've gathered, what I've understood from the entire video that I actually watched. I actually watched the entire video in question. Like, I'm not just guessing. I'm only guessing half of the story right now. Only half of the story, and I'm not talking about the story of that bitch. I'm just talking about that half that was out up until this point, where he released his video. What? So the whole allegation, all the allegations about nudes of minors, how he addresses it, he defends himself. That's great for him at least. But the shameless plug, the shameless fucking plug at the end of the video. Look, I'm being accused, all these allegations, here's my defense. But don't worry, I'll still be streaming, I'll still be doing YouTube videos. You can still give me money, you can still watch me so that YouTube gives me revenue, ad money, right? Just, you can still support me. I'm always open to collecting money. If you're wondering, I'm always open I'm always open for money. I can't figure out the term. I'm always open to being given money. I'm a money collector, really. I accept any currency in any amount. Yes. Yeah, so that's his story. He's got pretty good defenses or arguments, I guess. Good enough, to say the least, for YouTube video, for 40-minute long YouTube video. And he does his best to stay afloat. But like I said, and I think I said it about James Charles, not ProJared, he lost quarter of his subscriber base, which he went from 1 million to 750,000. Jared did, and like I said about James Charles, I think he was crying all the way to the bank. That only quarter left. Apparently, he was accused of essentially possession of child pornography. That's how you can qualify it. But what's the term? What am I trying to say? I'm losing my mind, which is to say train of thought. But almost vast majority of his fans stuck with him. Apparently they didn't care. There's hardly anything you can do to get people off, like, what's the term? Turn off to you? Something like that. Get put off. Oh, that might be the term. To get people be put off to you. I might be messing it up, right? So that they'll leave you, that they stop liking you and they leave. I don't know. People have weird attachments. Like maybe actually like Mercedes Carrera. Maybe ProJared is actually quite innocent, and he doesn't deserve to be left. But when you hear allegations like they're engaging in illegal sexual activities with people they shouldn't be doing it, with. You might suspend your sort of support at least till the case resolves. So I'm almost curious whether his subscription base is gonna rise back up to 4 million and relatively fast, since apparently he came out with his real side of the story that absolves him of any accusations. But I doubt it, and it doesn't matter since he's well off still. Oh, what I wanted to say is that he fucking aged in 3 months, let me tell you. Just fuck my shit up, fam. There it is. Yeah, let's get this commentary note. Because like I said, I could be standing in that container over there, all the way back over there, with the vortigaunt talking about all this, not doing any gameplay, but the time is running short.
The canals are populated with many small but dense and frequent details. This design choice allows for details within details. Anything from some ammo to a zombie to a skull in the mud can be hidden there, rewarding exploration and adding richness to the world.
I think we fucking missed out on all of it, but we did find cans of water, empty water cans, and can of paint. What a detail. And also, yeah, ProJared making fucking re-relevance here in my playthrough, the person that I started this playthrough with in mind, you know, to ride the relevance wave, comes back to being relevant also in my fucking playthrough. Amazing. Hasn't it all gone full circle? Yeah, in case you're ProJared and watching my video about yourself, and subscribe and have all of your 750,000 subscribers subscribe to me too. I'd like that sweet YouTube ad money too, however much it might be left. I shouldn't be here now. That's gameplay. Fuck. We don't want that. We don't want gameplay. We want riveting socio-political commentary here. What are you doing? What are you, stupid? Destroy. Fuck. Got stuck, of course, on this, because that's dumber. Yeah, save. Right. Fuck you. Did it take my picture? Might have. Not sure. Wasn't blinded because I wasn't looking at it. But it's fine. I don't care. Yeah, let's not look at that because that's being rendered. That'll be it for today. I hope you enjoyed that play with life and death on YouTube and in real life, because, you know, YouTube isn't part of real life, it's just separate. You die and then go to YouTube and then it's being revived. You are being revived and then you're back in the real life. Real life is not a collection of events. See? Like that. It's not a collection of events that they collectively make up real life. And stories might be fictional, but experiences aren't. So yes, real life, real death, real Jared, real Epstein, real kitty diddling business. Some death, some life, you could say it's half-life. This has been the voice from your wallet, because you need more, and so do I.